If there's any one thing that I've learned in my life, or mainly within the last 4 years, ever since C19, if you know what I mean, I learned and began to value things that I never used to value. A lot of them. I've completely 180-degree flipped my life over ever since that year. Rightfully so, because that year was crazy. For not just me, but for you, for everyone, for your friends, for my friends, for everybody. That year was but there was a lot of free time in that year too. So I used that time to just learn more about myself. And I spent a lot of time doing that. It was my first year of university. So I just graduated high school in 2019, and then 2020 everything happened. And when I left high school, I got rid of a lot of old friends. People who I did not necessarily like to associate myself with. I knew off the rip how I can decipher what friends would be long-term friends and what friends would be short-term friends. A lot of the friends that I had in high school, 99% of them were all short-term friends. They were all people who I just momentarily hang out with, fucked around on some bullshit, and did practically nothing. But they were fun times, and I'm grateful for those times. However, I just knew that approaching this new chapter of my life, I would not associate myself with those people. So during 2020, I learned to value friendship a lot more. And the concept of friendship is an interesting one, mainly because it's a humanistic need. You need to have social activity around you. You can choose to live your life by yourself, be in like your own jail, your own prison, but you cannot live that way. I've said that before in my old videos, and I'll say it again. You absolutely cannot afford to live entirely and completely by yourself. You will go crazy and you will lose your mind over time. Some people are mentally strong and can handle it for a lot longer than others, but you cannot live your life that way. Plus, life is just better when you have good people around you. Now that brings me to what I want to talk about, which is having good people around you through who you associate yourself with. You've 100% heard this before, but you are the product of the people who you spend the most time with. I wanted to become something very particular. I always had an image in my mind about what kind of person I wanted to be. And the people you affiliate yourself with reinforce that. If all your friends treat you like a dickhead, you're gonna see yourself as a dickhead. If all your friends treat you the way how you want to be treated as a result of who you decided to become, that reinforces your identity. So choosing friends. Nowadays, with what I got going on for myself, if I'm being completely transparent, I actually don't have many friends. And honestly, I'm perfectly okay with that for now. I am building myself up right now. I'm building my empire, I'm building my YouTube channel, I'm building my other businesses, I'm expanding my network, I'm expanding my net worth. I'm on the process of trying to build myself up. And during this time, I'd much rather choose to be alone with the very few people that I have than to associate myself with people who I simply don't like. A lot of people mistake that. They will choose to hang out with people who they simply dislike because they don't want to be alone. I think that's stupid. And as I've gotten older, now I'm actually not gonna say how old I am. You gotta Google that yourself. But as I've gotten older, I've definitely increased my standards. So to finalize this video, here are some new things that I look for when either meeting new people, coming across old friends that I used to have. These are some things that I look for. 1, if they have something going on. I don't like to affiliate or associate myself with people who are directionless. If it's someone from the past, if they're still in the same position they were in 4 years ago, why the I waste my time? I'm not your caretaker, I'm not your parent, nor am I your therapist. You got shit to do, you gotta figure it out yourself. Next, someone who is a very optimistic, positive individual. I like optimism. Optimism is good. Optimism is easy to deal with. It's also very easy for me to get along with because I can be a very blindly optimistic person. I walked into this YouTube game not knowing what the I'm doing. I just knew I was gonna make it work. And within, how many months has it been? 9 months? And every single person who said that's a flaw within me are all in the same position they were in years ago. To go on a side tangent quickly, when people are stagnated in the same position, one of the main reasons why people can't progress or can't move forward is because of their beliefs. They have a lot of limiting beliefs. That's why optimism is important. Your limiting beliefs will be a shackle over your ankle. You will be unable to move unless you get rid of those burdens over your head. So I like optimistic people. I like people who believe in me and I believe in them. I know potential when I see it and I dive into it when I do come across it. Lastly, I like accountability. I like people who can take control of their lives, know when they've done wrong or know when they've done right, and not blame anything on anything. A lot of people are very, very quick, instinctually quick, to blame something else on something else. It's like stumping your toe on a tree and then being like, who put that tree there? You know what I mean? I've learned to increase my standards, and as a result of me increasing my standards, I believe that I'll be able to live the life that I want to live as time goes on. And I'll make sure of that because, like I just said, I'm in control of that. I'm in control of who I want to be friends with and who I don't want to be friends with. And the friends that I choose are gonna end up either making me or breaking me.